girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back. Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard, but it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands. Unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Gun.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Ready? Blue way. Rip right. Hey, stop. Let's go. Flip. Check. Check. Anyway. Check hot. Watch the twist.
Off the play fake, Winston. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On 1st down, Taylor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And some room to run now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. You ain't got nothing. Green, triple T.
From the red zone now, Winston. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Preston Smith in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be
looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But
that's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Quick the edge. Rose. Kill.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That'll be complete to Cook. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. On the return comes Cobb. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now Williams. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the 31, Winston. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 22 yards there, a first down. Jameis now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Williams. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 46.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. on 2nd and 8. Winston. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. Here's Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Hey, flicker.
Cousins the thrower. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Zebra. Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Protein spill.
Check me out.
Wide. Crunch. Black. Out. Switch like that.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. The connection made. It's Graham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards. Good for a Packer 1st down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cousins again. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Set the tone, defense.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They go play action. Winston trying to lay one up deep. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right?
He's got a man. Complete. 20. 10. Touchdown. Vikings. Adam Thielen. As the first half is winding down. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch successfully.
We got this. The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Wait. He's crossing. He's checking crowd.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
5 on the 50. Check 5 on the 50. Press down. Okay. Wait. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. He's got the hook up to Lazard. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On play action, Winston looking deep. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Gun.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And Diggs has it. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now Cook. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now a run with Cook. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Cousins now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is first and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen. That'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Brings up second and goal.
On second and goal, Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Yeah, he pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Running for it, here's Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point right down the middle, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Williams. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready. White 25. 54 miles. All day, pump. Kill. Joker. Rush it. Hey, 5 on 50. 5 on 50. Shit.
They'll run on first down. Williams. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From just shy of midfield, Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 79 yards.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A carry here for the big tight end. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 7-yard line.
Here we go. He's coming. Double up.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
A looming decision to make on the conversion down. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21 all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Play fake. Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Watch the twist. Check 4.
Following the interception, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Here we go. Hey, flipper. Spot.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, and I hear 8 because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands, having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now,
and the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Rashawn Gary in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, Foxtrot. Gun. Mike 4. Watch QB drop.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Ready?
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game.